Edited live at the Dugout in Hickory. A Mad Tea Party production.
Yeah, douchebag!
Get more Tales from the Video Store at videostoretales.com. Visit our Facebook page and group and get in on the action. Catch us on Twitter at handle Video Store Tales. This episode is sponsored by Table Rock Creative Group. TableRockCreative.com. Your business in a creative way. There was Johnny Zuko, Mikey Ward, there was Mark Oscar Speech Rose, Mike D. Silvestri, there was Dick Chobuster, Lee the Rack, Jason Pudfinger, there was Bumpy Cum Dumpster, who was Dougie Three Beers' second cousin, and this made up the video store crew. And nobody fucked with us. He ain't paying for no damn Bushmills he don't need. Lee Bridges. He loves the noises Irene makes in bed. Garrick Lane. He thought he was the last Irishman in Hell's Kitchen. Doug Wall. This is Tales from the Video Store. How we doing, guys?
Doing good.
What's up, gang?
Good. Everybody have a good week?
Yeah, pretty good.
I'm getting tired asking you guys if you had a good week because you guys
really don't give a shit. First of all,
one and
How
two. You never come in
and reciprocate
and say, "Oh, dude, I'm gonna tell you about my week." I mean, the only exciting one was when you had a flood and you didn't have power.
Right? Yeah.
I got glasses this week. If you don't notice, I am old and can't read. I just thought. I was having problems with focus on my cameras and was like, couldn't find it, quite find it. I was like, something's off.
Yeah.
I'm old.
Yeah.
So there you go. Watch any movies?
I did.
What'd you watch?
Did you watch any movies?
I did.
Lee, did you watch any movies?
I did.
All right, cool.
How was your week?
Well, besides I'm hungover.
All right, nobody cares.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, first movie I watched was it was a Lee suggestion from one of their first podcasts, I think. It's the 2017.
The ones that were good, the ones that didn't have you involved.
Right. Before I came and fucked everything up. 2017's Low Life. It's a Ron Prose. He directed it and was a part writer. It's an interesting story. I don't want to get too detailed with it because I don't want to give anything away.
Right. It's a fairly new release.
It's new enough to where I think a lot of people probably haven't seen it. It has to do with harvesting organs. There is a luchador, which is like a Mexican masked wrestler guy. Cool characters, interlocking stories. There's a guy that has a swastika tattooed on his face. And when I say on his face, it's not a small swastika. It takes up his entire face. It kind of starts a little bit slow, but it's actually pretty well paced. Once you kind of get into it a little bit, I like the pacing of it. And it's, like I say, it's a crazy-ass story. It's got, each character is like a really unique kind of character. It's not like, oh, well, that guy reminds me of this from this movie. They're all their own kind of guy. It definitely rewards the viewer for sticking it out, I thought.
If people can make it through the title sequence, they can make it through the movie.
Right. Yeah. I think so. And I enjoyed it, but I didn't love it.
Right.
And I think maybe the reason I didn't love it, maybe your expectations, you guys liking it so much, and I wanted to like it.
Right.
More. I guess I was looking for it to be more than it was. And I'm not saying it was bad. I just maybe was expecting more out of it than I actually got.
Right.
Although I really liked a lot of it. And it's definitely, I would recommend it to anybody that likes unique shit or, an action and the way that they did it.
The amount of heart it has is very surprising.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, the guy with the swastika on his face, that's a strike against most people for liking a character. That character is very likable.
He's my favorite of the movie.
Exactly. Like when a woman calls her a Nazi, he's like, that's not cool, ma'am. Yeah. You don't know my struggle. Just like everything he says is so funny. Like, yeah.
Cool movie.
Yeah.
If you like...
Violent movie. Very violent movie.
Yeah.
Well,
They allude to a lot of violence.
Yeah.
Kind of like You're Not Really Here. It alludes to the violence without really showing it.
Right.
They're really similar in that way,
Yeah.
like when the luchador starts to get his rage on.
Right.
And then, it kind of goes black, and then it comes back, and you just see the after effects.
Right.
It's similarly done in You Were Never Really Here.
Yeah.
So, cool movie. Rent it if you've never seen it, for sure.
Right.
I wanted to stick with the Irish theme. And I looked at several movies. Most of them, though, that I looked at were in the 2000s. I wanted to stick with something in the 90s, even though it is as far back in the 90s as you can possibly get. I went with Boondock Saints, the original. It's been some time since I've watched it, but I've seen it a shitload of times, so I know it pretty strongly. It's Troy Duffy wrote it and directed it. He's got there's the movie, and then there's the story of how this movie was
which
made.
is better than the movie.
Overnight.
It's so tragedy.
Which is, basically about he had to deal with Miramax, and then just because he was basically just a rigid prick, and just didn't really know how to kind of bend, and just kind of...
It was just
I think he just felt like he was above everything, even though he had yet to really do anything.
Right.
I know he had a hot script and all this, and basically
thought he was hot shit and decided he was going to do whatever he wanted to do.
And
then
basically
Harvey Weinstein was like, "You don't get to do whatever. You don't get the. I'm giving you the money, but you're going to do it my way."
Right.
And he was just like, "Yeah, no, that's not going to happen."
So he ended up filming the movie for about approximately half the budget of what it would have been with Miramax. Stars Norman Reedus, Sean Patrick Flannery, William Dafoe. It had some problems getting to theaters. That was the same year as Columbine. Mm-hmm. And originally, I think I saw that it opened in 5 movie theaters.
Right.
And it just had such a... And really, I think they expanded a little bit, but it really didn't make its money until it went out with VHS.
And I think that's the best thing that ever happened to it.
Right.
Because had it came out in a wide release, no one would have gone to see it.
Yeah.
And it would have just
gone away.
It would have gone away. It's been another 90s Tarantino ripoff.
Yeah.
And just... No, it would be forgotten.
Yeah, agreed.
But it going out on DVD, that's what allowed people to discover it.
Right.
That's
how I mean...
Was it that good, though?
Look, it's okay.
I don't remember it being... I remember it being cool because that was the Quentin Tarantino shtick.
But I don't really think it's even anything remotely like anything Quentin Tarantino.
I'm just talking about the violent... those sort of 90s gangster movies where people,
Similar violence, but this is a lot more lighthearted than a Tarantino. It's way lighter. And like Lisa, like a movie having heart, this one has a ton of it. And it's really funny, dude. There's some brilliant lines in this movie. But I think when it comes to this movie, most people are either in two camps. You either really, really love it, or you really, really don't like it. I'm
kind of in the middle.
I am too.
Yeah.
But it just seems...
Maybe I am too. It's been a while.
It just seems to me like a movie that I think people are just like, oh my God, it's amazing, or they're... can do without.
And a lot of people just like it because it was the Boondock Saints. Like, I like the story. Like, that was great. That was the first time a kid had sold a script. You know what I mean? A spec script and got to make his own movie. Of course, he didn't do it right. And if you haven't seen... if you've seen Boondock Saints and you have not watched the companion entitled Overnight, you must watch it because it's amazing.
Yeah.
Like, it is.
He's such a douchebag.
It is such a cautionary tale, and any filmmakers out there, it's what not to do.
He had a movie deal and a record deal.
Oh, it's crazy.
And wrecked it.
And blew both of them.
Blew it all.
Yeah.
But it's, we talk about these Irish gangster movies. This, The Departed, the movie that we watched tonight, they all have similar themes, similar qualities to them. They all involve gangs, betrayal, Boston, Irish, guns, drinking. Like, that's the formula for making these kinds of movies.
Well, I think Irish and drinking, that's kind of
go hand in hand. But there's a lot of parallels between this movie and The Departed. Not Boondock Saints, I'm sorry. I'm talking about State of Grace. Fuck, I fucked that up. But all three of them are pretty similar.
Right.
You can watch them all St. Patty's Day and feel comfortable, you're not going to be out of your element, so to speak. Those are the two movies I watched.
Okay.
Well, I have a movie that you either love or hate, and apparently you were on the opposite end of me, but Darren Aronofsky's Mother. I actually finally watched it this morning, and by the end, I had to lay back down. I was exhausted.
Can I see your wrists? No? They look okay?
I get it. I knew exactly what the movie was about, the metaphor behind it. It's basically Ed Harris and Michelle Pfeiffer are Adam and Eve. They come in, they break the apple, and it causes the chaos of... Okay, I'm just saying. So I kind of got it. I loved the stylist. It was like I like movies like Requiem for a Dream. That movie is an experience, and there's times in that movie where I still have to turn away, like I can't watch. Yeah. And that kind of movie, that's what he preaches. If you're entertained, if it affects you, then it's good. Well, Mother affected me. I won't say that if I put it next to Phantom Thread or There Will Be Blood, it doesn't. There's no way. If somebody says, hey, you want to watch Mother or There Will Be Blood? Hands down, There Will Be Blood. But it was very good. It was perfect, Darren Aronofsky, and I loved it. And there was times in that movie during the mobs in the end of the house where I'm like, oh my God, dude. Like I was like back in the seat, like, what's happening? And when that poor baby, oh. So yeah, just thinking about it makes me cringe. The neck. God, when they were beating her and they were pulling her shirt off, I'm like, I couldn't watch. It was terrible the way it was done. It's great. It's great filmmaking. The story, but it's great filmmaking. The way he does that stuff, that hole in the floor.
It doesn't seem great to me. It seemed like this is I'm going to make this because I want to fuck Jennifer Lawrence, and I'm going to put her in this film. Didn't he? And they dated for about 18 months or 2 years or whatever around the time before this and during this and what have you. That's what I got from it. And I was like, all right, kudos. Good for you.
Do you know she actually had to take a year off? She said that film was so taxing that she took a year off after it. And do you know, you haven't seen it, and you would probably hate it. You probably wouldn't even make it through. There's no problem. But you'd be even more mad because they actually canceled the second Friday the 13th remake to make room in the budget to make this movie.
Yeah.
Well, that's probably a good thing.
Maybe. I mean, I would much rather watch Mother than another Michael Bay botched Friday the 13th.
Right.
But I'm with you. It is not for everybody. And I went and read some of the reviews. It's great. If you go to Rotten Tomatoes, I know you guys don't live on Rotten Tomatoes, but this time, just because right when I got done with that movie, knowing what you had said about it, I was like, yeah, that's a movie you either hate or you love.
Yeah.
And it's hilarious. You go to Rotten Tomatoes and you got one fresh, and then right under it, you got one spoiled. So it's a red tomato, then a green, and then a red, then a green.
To me, it's
green,
like
all the way down the line.
It's like The Fountain.
And it's crazy because there was even one review that said Aronofsky's best. My knuckles are sore. Best film that I've seen in a decade. And then the review right under it was, this is the biggest piece of shit I have ever seen. He needs help with his next script. Yeah. It's like, wow. So, yeah. So
I love Aronofsky as a filmmaker. Don't get me wrong. He's made 3 movies that I absolutely adore. Black Swan, Requiem, and The Wrestler are all...
And Batman, remember, he did Batman Begins, didn't he?
No, he almost did Batman Begins.
He backed out on that.
That's right. That was Nolan.
Yeah.
But this Mother reminds me of The Fountain. They look amazing, but I can't follow it.
Yeah.
The story, it's almost filmmaking just to tell you how cool I am, but I'm not really doing it for anybody. There's no entertainment value in it, really. There's no intellectual value in it. There's no visual value in it, or you're not getting anything from it. To me, and it's not just him. I mean, this happens to filmmakers all the time.
It was
some of the greatest.
It was 2 hours of what he called dread, and it builds up and it builds up. That was me. I was invested though. I mean,
well, to me, I was just like, all right, something. Like, give me something. What? And then it's over. Yeah. And I just felt like, man, God.
Thank God it was over too. I had to lay back down. I was like, oh my God, man.
It wasn't that taxing for me watching it. I was just like, where are they going with this? What is this? And I like all the people that are in it. It just
didn't work for
didn't
you.
work for me. Yeah.
Well, another film that I really worked for me that I'd love you guys to check out, to tell me. I watched the Motley Crue, The Dirt.
Okay.
And it's fantastic.
I've heard.
Like, it's like Detroit Rock City meets Dazed and Confused meets The Doors. Like, there's a little bit of everything. There's some comedy. There's some craziness. It was really well done. A couple of the Game of Thrones actors are in it. I had read the book, and there was I read some reviews where people were like, well, we didn't like every now and then they'll break the third wall, talk right to the camera, and some crazy, like, insert stuff, just random stuff will happen. But if you read the book, that's how they did it. It was them all talking, and then every now and then they would break into some sort of crazy fact by capitalizing and changing the font in the book, if that makes any sense. So the book feels like a scrapbook of different thoughts. I think they did the movie that way, and that's why it was like that. I can see why people would be like, but I loved it, man. I was teary-eyed at the end. They Home Sweet Home is playing, and they're walking down out of the back of the Coliseum all slow-mo, and I was like, that was the best freaking hour and 47 minutes I've watched in a month. It was fantastic.
Somebody at work told me today that they were going back on tour, and I think it's probably based on, the reception of this movie, and people were like, oh, yeah.
It's great. I mean, but and some of the stuff that these guys did and got away with, like, whew, I mean.
Like murder?
Yeah, oh, well, he didn't get away with it.
He got away with it.
But that changed his life. He also paid those people like $2 million. Yeah, I'm sure he got away with it.
If you did that, you would be in jail right now.
Well, he
married to a big Samoan man.
Well,
he got away with it.
So, Karma came back and got him because he lost his daughter.
Right.
So he did pay for it. He got drunk and killed a man in the car, and then the powers that be took his daughter. An eye for an eye. Either way, man, who am I to judge? I've done some dumb stuff that... Doug about killed me one night, got drunk, threw me out of the back of a truck. If I'd have hit the mailbox, I'd be dead.
Right.
I know, right? Well, you do that now, but had I died, your life would be completely different. See what I'm saying, dude? Everything's just these little things, but it's fantastic. You guys have to see it. It's called The Dirt. If you like Motley Crue.
Right.
Even if you don't.
Even if you don't.
Like me.
I love Motley Crue.
Yeah, well.
Probably like AC/DC too, don't you?
Dude, who doesn't like AC/DC?
Anyway.
All right.
Crap.
Yeah.
Let me just get that.
Oh, good job.
All right.
You and your brutal language.
All right. What'd you watch?
I watched a gangster movie from the year 2000 called Gangster Number One, British gangster film. Either one of you guys ever seen it?
I've heard of it. I don't
Paul
know.
Bettany and Malcolm McDowell.
Oh, that just sounds good.
It starts off in 2000. Malcolm McDowell is the older version of Paul Bettany. And it's basically just about his rise to power, how he went from being this sort of punk kid to just in the late 60s to the gangster number one. And there's nothing redeeming about him. Like, he's just a complete sociopath. And he does this thing when he was going to kill someone, this like high pitch, like the sound metal makes when it scrapes against each other, and he makes this like weird face, and it's like he's charging himself up to kill someone. And he just basically, he gets involved in this gang and basically just takes up through just terrible means, and really well done. Paul McEwen, guy did Lucky Number 11, Scottish filmmaker. It's his coolest movie, and. Just very, very well done, very dark. But Malcolm McDowell, even though he's only in it a very short time, just sells the movie. Like at the beginning of the movie, he's at a prize fight, and everybody's wearing tuxes, and he's drinking champagne and smoking a cigar. And he gets up to use the bathroom, and he goes in this crappy-looking gym stall, and just sits down the champagne next to the urinal. And as he's taking a piss, you see his urine just like it's splashing into his champagne glass. He's smoking his cigar and stuff and everything, and you just see, he goes on for like 30 seconds, and he's flushes, zips up, puffs on a cigar, picks up the glass, and almost touches it to his lips, and then turns to the camera and goes, "What do you take me for, a cunt?" And just drops the cigar in the glass, and then as he tells the story, of how he became gangster number one, and his character has no name. Like in the closing credit, it says Malcolm McDowell, old gangster number one. Paul Bettany, young gangster born.
Hey, kind of like Mother.
And,
There wasn't any names in Mother. It was Mother. Man. Okay. Anyway.
Okay. Nobody cares about that. But yeah, really cool movie. And but the only thing I ever watched besides that, I watched a TV show that is a sequel to a series of movies. Have you ever seen the Australian horror movies Wolf Creek?
Yes.
Okay. There's a TV show that takes place after. My favorite was actually part 2. Wolf Creek 2, I think, is actually better than the first one.
I don't think I saw this.
It's Wolf. The first one's a lot of setup, like it's like a horror drama.
Yeah.
The second one is ball. It just
Straight into it?
It's straight into it.
Cool.
It has one of my favorite scenes in the horror movies the last few years where the killer Mick, who's based on an actual serial killer, the backpack killer from Australia. In the second movie, he steals an 18-wheeler and is chasing this guy, and they drive through a herd of kangaroos, like hundreds of them that are crossing this road. And they're going through this guy's windshield and stuff, and he's swerving, there's blood everywhere. And it just cuts back to the killer going, "Welcome to Australia, dickhead!" And just runs the guy off the road.
Yeah.
And the show starts with this American family, camping in Australia. And the character Mick, he shoots pests. Like he goes to people's farms. Like they have plagues in Australia, like plagues of rats, plagues of wild pigs, and he gets rid of them. And he also is a serial killer. And that's kind of how he's so nomadic. That's how he goes without getting caught, throughout the movies and the TV show. And he kills this family, but the daughter lives. Like she was a track and field star. She runs away at night. And he shoots her, but it just, it's in the woods in the middle of the night. He just assumes she's dead.
Right.
And the show is following this girl as she hunts for him through Australia over the course of months. And it's really well done. It feels like you're watching a 6-hour version of the movie. It's only 6 episodes. Just as brutal as the movies.
And good.
Really well done, yeah. Cool. And the lead actress, I can't remember her name, I think it's Lucy Fry was her name. Australian actress. She does a really good American accent. And she's really good at it. But John Jarrett, the star, the guy who plays Mick Taylor, he is,
Oh, he's awesome.
He's awesome.
Yeah,
and you just kind of but you get like an origin story. You see why he is the way he is, and I thought it was very well done.
Cool.
Yeah, like if there was, they say there's going to be a second season that's going to not really touch upon. It's in the same world, but it won't touch upon the movies. Because. In Australia is so it's bigger than the United States, so there could be anything out there.
Oh, yeah.
You can drive for 2 days and not see a person.
Yeah.
So yeah, it really well done though.
Cool.
But those are the only 2 things I watched.
Wolf Creek.
Yeah.
Now, where did you watch that?
I rented that at Family Video.
Oh, so you actually rent the whole. Oh, okay. So you rent the whole. You binge.
Well, it's only 6 episodes, so I mean it's not like
It was like one disc.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, well, that was on 2. It was 3 per episode, but and they're like 45 minutes each, so I did it over 2 days.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Well, we are reaching the end of our 90s gangster.
Yep.
We finished it up. We did a couple of more urban tales in the first 2, and then we did one up in Boston. My glasses? I keep messing with my glasses.
Yeah.
The State of Grace. A classic.
Right.
You want to introduce it?
Yeah, go ahead.
State of Grace, director Phil Jean.
I say Janou. I don't know.
Janou.
That's what I say.
I believe he's Canadian.
Yeah.
Starring Sean Penn, Gary Oldman, Ed Harris, Robin Wright,
John C. Reilly,
young as fuck.
John Turturro.
Yeah.
Turturro.
Yeah.
I mean, the cast is
just
awesome.
fantastic.
Yeah.
And a lot of the other guys that aren't names that we know, their faces you know.
Yeah, like the guy who's
his boss.
his henchman. No, the
the
Irish
henchman guy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen that guy in a million movies.
At least, and I couldn't, I don't know his name from anything.
Right.
But, it's basically about a Hell's Kitchen Irish gang and a kid that had grown up with one of these 2 brothers that are kind of running the Irish side of New York, I suppose, or in this neighborhood at least. Terry Noonan, he's been gone. You don't know how long he's been gone. I don't know if they ever say 10 years maybe.
Yeah.
He just walks into a bar and sits down beside of his buddy, and he's like, "You gonna introduce me to your friends, or you just gonna sit there and stare at me?" And they're right back in it, you know. It is one of my favorite gangster movies of all time. It really is. And it has been a long, long time since I had watched it, and I forgot how much I loved it.
It's really good.
It
really is
really,
really good.
Really, really fucking good. It's a big-time reminder to me, like, in that time, 90, 91, 92, 93, around that time, the actor that kept popping up, and every time I saw him and everything I saw him in was Gary Oldman, just doing his thing.
Yeah, The Professional.
Leon the Professional, Dracula, True Romance.
I'm pretty, but I ain't as pretty as a couple of titties.
Just brilliant actor.
Yeah.
He's a guy that, and I thought about this, and I proposed this, and I want you guys to think about this, because I think he's on the same level.
Should we do a whole block on just Gary Oldman?
Take Gary Oldman and take Daniel Day-Lewis and have them switch all of their roles. You want me to tell you? I think I would still love them both, even though they would have taken completely different paths, because I think that they are that good.
Oh yeah, Gary Oldman.
They are just a notch above everybody else in my mind.
And he finally won the Academy Award for The Darkest Hour. He deserved it.
Let's see. Burgess Meredith has a little spot role in this. Yeah. And I got a little teary-eyed because I sat there and I thought for a minute, and I was like, man, this is the last time he was on film. I forgot about this. And then I remembered, no, wait a minute. He was in Grumpy Old Men, which were fantastic a couple years after that.
I eat bacon in the morning, bacon in the afternoon. I outlive the doctors.
And I drink my dinner.
Yeah, I drink my dinner. The outtakes, I'm sorry to get off subject, but Grumpy Old Man and Grumpy Old Men, the outtakes alone
of him are
they make the movie.
Just him talking.
He's the best. Yeah. Just great. But seeing him in this, I was like, oh, Burgess.
He reminds me of your old man.
Burgess?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Another thing I got from this movie that I had forgotten about is that I'm pretty sure I've been in love with Robin Wright my entire life.
Right.
Since The Princess Bride, even through House of Cards.
When she's kissing on Kevin Spacey, you're just like, she's still hot.
She might be the most beautiful woman to me of all time. Like, I can't.
I might be able to kiss Kevin Spacey to get to Robin Wright.
You've done worse. And the last part of this movie, the final gunfight in this movie is with
the parade and the slow mo and
so much slow motion,
and it's like,
which at the time, now it's like, well, of course, all these action movies have used it, but in 1990 that was not a overly done deal, and that's what made it so special.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
See, the Irish song is like,
it was killer.
It's like that blood's like coming out of that dude, and there's
I don't understand why this dude didn't make more movies.
I'm looking. There's some.
He did U2 Rattle and Hum,
right?
And he did make a movie before this that I really like called 3 O'clock High.
I love 3 O'clock High.
That is an awesome movie.
3 O'clock High is one of the most underrated '80s teenage movies.
This is one of the most underrated films, gangster wise.
Oh yeah.
When you say, what are your favorite gangster movies? They say Casino, Goodfellas. Right. They say even A Bronx Tale comes into that. Yeah. Donnie Brasco, The Godfather. Nobody will have this on their list. They've missed this one. This one is fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
it really is.
I mean, there's Ed Harris is everything about it.
Yes, and
Gary Oldman is just.
Yeah, Sean Penn's the star, but Gary Oldman's really the star.
Oh, he's totally.
He steals it. If it is Sean Penn's movie, he steals it.
Yeah.
This is, to me, and after just watching it again, I even felt stronger about it. Like, this is like a companion piece to The Departed. Like, this is like part one.
They're very similar.
This is like part one, and The Departed is like part two of just Boston gangs.
Right.
To me, the way it's done, all the themes are similar, and I loved it. And everybody's performance was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Like, nobody was like, oh, they're dragging it down. Like, everybody was on
even
their
the old Italian guy who played the mob boss. He's
awesome.
great. Yeah, like he's terrifying.
He's like, no, don't get up. Like, don't insult me. Like,
yeah. But you ask why he wasn't.
That's a great scene. The way they build that suspense,
that tension, yeah.
And when Ed Harris finally gets into and calls him, and they show the phone in the floor, and they've already left because Oldman's freaking jittery, and they start pulling away from that phone. You're just like, oh gosh,
here we go.
Here we go.
Yeah.
But you ask why he didn't have a bigger career. Have you ever seen the movie he directed, Entropy, with Stephen Dorff? It's a movie about himself. when he was a big music video director, he fell in love with some model. The woman he fell in love with plays Stephen Dorff's girlfriend in the movie. And apparently he just got obsessed with her. And just, you know, like he comes out, if the character in the movie that Stephen Dorff is him, he apparently was a giant asshole back in the 90s.
Which,
because he doesn't come off, and like I said, good for him because he doesn't come off great in the movie.
Yeah.
And it's not a very good movie because, like,
I don't think I've ever.
Yeah, it's basically he wanted to make a movie about why his love life and career fell apart. And, because he was known for directing YouTube music videos. At one point, he's sitting in a YouTube videos on the screen, and Bono starts talking to him, but he got Bono to play himself.
Yeah.
In this sort of weird scene where he talks to him through the TV. And like I said, it's not very good.
Yeah.
But, you know, if I made, you know, but you ask why this, it's because he had this apparently terrible relationship with his model, which kind of took
Because the
over
way
his life.
that movie's crafted, it's
Oh, dude, like every scene at night,
it's perfect.
the streets are always wet, and you can see a mile up every street because there's just all this light, like all these pools of light from the street lights, and it just looks amazing.
Yeah.
It's a great looking movie. Yeah, he should definitely be a bigger director. I mean, he's directed some, you know, low budget stuff since then. Like he directed a horror movie for Blumhouse a couple years ago that went direct to video. But yeah, nothing real. He should be a bigger director.
Looking at that and it coming out in 1990,
Right.
You're thinking, oh my god, this guy's getting ready to blow up, and you know,
Exactly.
sometimes that happens.
That's true. Yeah.
I'm sure people thought the same thing about Duffy. You know,
Right,
Troy Duffy,
yeah.
you know, they're like,
Yeah.
watch, you know, people who loved Boondock Saints thought, oh man, this is the beginning. Like, it's a movie revolution.
It isn't.
No, it isn't.
But no, the early movie, the 3 O'Clock High, I love that movie.
3 O'Clock High
is
one of my favorites.
Yeah, it's
when I was a kid, anytime it was on, I was always watching
it's
it.
so socially irresponsible.
Yeah.
Like everything about it is terrible. Like, I mean, the way the characters act.
Yes.
You know, and it's just like now that movie would never get made.
No.
Yeah. Like at the end of the movie, a guy picks up a pair of brass knuckles and puts a guy in the hospital, and just everybody cheers.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, no, I love State of Grace. I think it's great. Like you said, it's sort of a preface to The Departed. You know, very very similar movies. And but yeah.
And if you like The Departed and have never heard of or seen State of Grace, do yourself a favor and just go buy it.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah. Here's a cool fact though from State of Grace.
Okay.
Me being a Ed Harris
Factoid. What you got?
huge Ed Harris fan. Well, Ed Harris, they had originally wanted Ed Harris to do it, and they had reached out and said, "Hey, I want you to do this. Here's the script." And he's like, "I want to do it," but he had sustained so many injuries from the filming The Abyss. That he was trying to recuperate. And so then they decided, well, we'll just go with Ed O'Neill, our second choice.
Huh.
And so Ed O'Neill had been contacted, and then Ed Harris decided he wanted to do the movie so badly that he was just going to go with it.
Right.
And came back.
Good.
So that's pretty cool.
He's a very intense guy. Like I was reading this thing about how when they were making The Rock, like some grip or something, just said, like, Michael Bay asked him a question. And he's like, yeah, I'll do that. And said, Ed Harris just exploded. He was like, you say, sir. He's like, he's in charge, then me, then everybody else. And everybody was just like, okay. And there's like, he's like, he's a very...
Well, I can see it in his eyes, man.
Like,
he's got that quiet intensity for sure.
Oh, and he did it great in The Rock.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's intense. He was in Mother, and he was...
he's great.
What's cool, though, the original cut of this movie, before the studio got to it, was 3 hours and 10 minutes long.
That's probably a good thing.
But I wonder, but that movie's so good, I'd watch the uncut. What'd they cut out?
3 hours?
Yeah.
That's, yeah.
You're not a 3 hour movie guy, are you?
I mean, it's got to be a real... Like, when I watch Heat or I watch Casino, I don't feel it. Like, I'm just like, I'm zoned into it.
Right.
Yeah.
But a bad 3 hour
Godfather?
movie... The Godfather, exactly. But a bad 3 hour movie is like, it's like
a 5 hour.
What's a bad 3 hour movie?
Let me see.
Dances with Wolves.
Dances with Wolves is not my cup of tea. Yes, that is. Yeah, there we go.
Gettysburg, which is
Now, see, Gettysburg I don't mind, but the second one, Gods and Generals, is like 4 hours.
That's cool.
And I got about halfway through it, and I was like, okay, I know how this ends.
Yeah.
The first Gettysburg is actually a good movie. But, yeah, I mean, it's like, I don't... You have to meet a lot of qualifications to make a good 3 hour movie. Like I just saw today, like the new Avengers movie is going to be 3 hours and 2 minutes. I was like, oh god, they got to put an intermission in there or something.
Well, there's no way I'm going to see it at the theater now. That just eliminates it for me.
Yeah.
What? Really? There's no way you don't watch that movie in the theater.
I can't.
You can't. You just can't do 3 hours.
I can't do it.
Yeah.
I'll fall asleep. My fucking eyes start bothering me. You know, you got to get up and piss or whatever. It's like, what am I going to miss? You come back in, everybody's cheering. You're like, what's happening?
Right.
I'm not paying to go through that. Plus, the place is going to be packed out. I can't stand going to the movies now with it being packed out. So, yeah, I'll just wait it out, man.
I will be there.
I'm sure you will.
I will be there. But I still like the theater experience. Doesn't matter.
I do, too, but 3 hours is asking a lot.
Yeah. And not every movie is. I'm not going to say this again because I went into it last week, but yeah, I mean, movies are way too long.
Maybe
now.
they think that this one does because of the way that the last one ended, and they've got a lot of explaining to do, I suppose. But damn, 3 hours is a lot.
It is. And there's a lot of fights. What was that one movie? And I can't remember off the top of my head. I was talking about it. It was like 2 hours and 30 minutes, and it was just fight after fight. It's like never ended. I can't remember what it was. I'll remember and I'll get it back. But it was miserable. There was just so much fighting in it.
Right.
And that's why I feel like this is going to be. It's going to be the same thing. It's going to be just,
or it's going to have lull moments. I mean, because looking at the trailer, there's like 6 of them.
Yeah.
You know, they don't touch on any of the guys that are dead or disappeared or whatever. So there's going to be a lot of, I think, build up, and I just
Mission Impossible Fallout 2 hours and 45 minutes.
Yeah, but that's a good movie.
Felt like an hour and a half. Like it could have gone on for another 2 hours and 40 minutes, and I'd have been fine with it.
Yeah, that's the reason they're making 2 back to back.
Yeah.
I mean,
They're making 2 more?
Yeah, Chris McCory's going to they're going to shoot them back to back.
That's great. They're doing so good, man. I love them. And I love to see Tom Cruise. I think he's gotten I mean, I don't care what. I'm not here to judge him for his religion, man. He's entertained me on the silver screen for years and years and years. He's always number one in my book. That's it. And the fact that he does his own stunts is even killer.
Right.
He got me back with, honestly, because I think I kind of swayed away from him a little bit, but he got me back with Tropic Thunder.
Yeah.
He got like I was like, all right, man, I'm back. You're like you're back.
I mean, just the in credits when he starts. Starts dancing around to Ludacris' song. Like I was like, dude, that's Tom Cruise. Yeah. That is Tom Cruise, and that's the coolest thing ever.
Yeah. It really was.
Playa? Playa?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. So,
the consensus on State of Grace?
Yeah, consensus on State.
It is a rant.
Another buy it.
I think it's a buy it.
If you get a Criterion Collection,
right,
or a deluxe Blu-ray with commentary, and vignettes and things, get it for sure. For sure.
Yep.
There you go.
There we go.
Well, all sorts of news this week. Fantastic news.
All right.
I know you guys don't care, but me being a Tim Burton junkie, the first
Dumbo again.
The first reviews are out, and of course he gets ousted every time.
Right? Is it because he's been on a downward slide since Ed Wood?
Maybe,
last 20 years?
But I still
with
like
diminishing returns.
How can this movie not be good? It's got Michael Keaton, it's got Danny DeVito, it's got all his tricks of the trade. Like it's got to be good.
You'll see. I won't say we'll see. You'll see.
It's Dumbo.
It's playing at the Golden Ticket Cinemas starting Friday. Oh, actually, it's going to be after that.
Yeah, it'll be after that. So you take that.
Yes, I can't wait to see it.
Take your kids and see if they can stay awake.
Yeah.
Well, they don't want to see it because they think it's going to be really sad. Peyton doesn't want to go because she's like, I'll cry and it'll be sad. And I don't want to be sad. I don't go to movies to be sad. I'm like, okay.
All right. Good for her.
Yeah. All right. Well, whatever. Yeah. And then did you guys see Josh Brolin? Have you guys seen his new physique? He stopped smoking and got buffed to play in the new Dune.
Well, he was huge in Deadpool too.
Yeah, he's massive.
But he's anyway. Well, so he's on this health kick, but they just showed him, and he's got some of his stuff on. There was a picture on social media, teasing the new Dune.
Oh yeah,
that we just talked about,
right?
A few weeks back. He's going to be the guy in it.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I always loved Josh Brolin.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah, he's great.
He's Thanos.
That's true.
What We Do in the Shadows.
The TV show.
March 27th, 10 p.m. It starts. It begins.
I saw a commercial for it the other night. I chuckled really good.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is going to be good.
Was it when the guy got his cake caught in the car door and it drags him down the street? That guy, Matt Berry, English actor, if you can see it as a show, I think it's on Netflix, it's called Taste of London, where he plays an actor, and he's great. Like, he's great in everything. In Taste of London, there's a recurring bit where he's doing voiceovers. He's like an actor who does like commercials and stuff. And there's a guy, the recording engineer, whose character's name is Clem Fandango, and he lives to just like mess with Matt Berry's character. And it's like that dude's funny and everything.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see it. Do
Yeah.
you think it's going to be 8? Is it going to be 8 series? Is it going to be like an 8-episode series?
I think it's like 10.
Oh, so it's like a normal.
No, yeah, it's
gonna
a
be
TV
a normal
show.
thing.
Yeah,
Great.
no,
it's not going to be like Shudder's Critter that were 12 minutes. What a drag.
Yeah.
You don't have Shudder, but they were pumping that Critters redo.
You guys talked about it.
Yeah. And now I did see though where like a lot of the effects were all practical, so I thought that looked cool.
Yeah, that was pretty. But still,
But yeah, 12 minutes. I mean, at least bump it up to 20. You know,
Right.
Or make another movie.
Like you said,
Just
yeah,
do
it
a
was
Shudder movie.
Yeah.
But I guess you just need little bits of different content or whatever.
Right.
There's a reason why they did that.
Yeah.
I don't truly understand. And did you guys see that link I sent you about the Aliens play? How cool is that, dude?
Yeah.
Like, what? Like, it looked so cool. I wanted to look at. I was trying to figure out the books, like how much. How much
Why did they get the rights to do that?
I don't know.
Like, you can't just do a play. Like if you want to do a David Mamet play,
Even at school.
you have to buy it.
Like, even in high school.
Yeah, like they have to. Like the school has to pay for it basically it's like option in a script.
But
I don't know.
yeah, well, and what's funny is they showed up. They put up some sort of video. They had a video trailer.
Yeah.
And they had these guys on green screen, right? And they had these crazy, like, vault-looking spaceship backgrounds.
Yeah.
On. So they're standing there and they're introducing everybody.
Yeah.
But the backgrounds still had the watermark from a place called Video Blocks. You have to pay for those.
Yeah.
So those are like $70 a piece that you have to pay.
The alien spacesuits they made, like the crew wears when they go down on the planet, look great. Like the props and the costume, everything look great.
Well, see, I don't think they have to license that stuff, but
just to recreate it because they said they made everything.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'd like to know, or if they
Yeah.
just did it rogue and now they're going to be in trouble. I mean, because what's crazy is honestly,
Joke's on them. That's owned by Disney now.
had they not gone viral, like it's gone completely viral,
Right.
You could probably get in touch with them and ask them these questions. So
Right.
we could give them to our listeners.
Yeah.
But now it's crazy, and I'm sure they're getting
Oh, yeah.
calls all over the place, and
Yeah,
you know.
absolutely.
I'll tell you what, if I could track those guys down and get them on the show, I will, because that'd be a cool little thing.
Oh, yeah.
To learn how they did it.
When I saw that, I immediately thought of the movie Rushmore.
Yes!
You know, in the play that Schwartzman's character makes. I immediately went to that, and I'm like, man, you know, when I saw that, I thought, God, how cool would that have been to have done that in high school?
Right.
Oh, yeah.
As opposed to doing R-Town or something.
Yeah, just some old junk. But, to see them kind of go out and branch out and do their own thing like that, something as crazy as Alien, I think that's awesome.
Very awesome.
Yeah, it looks really good. And the trailer for Stranger Things 3. That's exactly what I'm saying. And that's my argument on this. My kids are excited, but like, how much more can you do? Why wouldn't they just? I know it's money. You're going to say, well, because of money. But when do you say, you know what? We had a good thing. Like Happy.
Right.
We had a good thing. We did a graphic novel. The graphic novel's over. Just call it a day and do something else.
Right.
Now we're on Netflix. We're on Stranger Things 3. Like, is it really? Like, do we
I
really
can't
need
imagine
it?
they'd go past this 3 seasons. Because, after that, the kids will be in high school and they'll just look weird.
They already look old. In
That's
the
what I'm
trailer.
saying. I saw the trailer and I'm like, this looks kind of like
The Toothless kid still looks the same, but the rest of them look like they could drive.
Yeah. Kind of like the Harry Potter movies. You do so many of them, and it gets to the point where,
Right.
they're not Harry Potter anymore.
Yeah,
He's
exactly.
Yeah, by the time the last one came around, I was like, ooh, Hermione.
Yeah.
It's like, what am I doing? Wait a minute.
I know,
Stop it.
right. The first one you
She's
watch.
25 years old. It's
right.
fine.
The first one you watched, she's a kid, and then you're fantasizing about her. By the last one, you're like, well,
I'm like, she's blazing. Wait a minute, no.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Yeah.
That's my news. My argument is, hey, Netflix, man. Just when it's good, just leave it.
Yeah.
Well,
Just leave it, man.
Maybe they'll wrap it up. And if they wrap it up and do it in a good manner, then you've got 3 strong seasons of something that, will stand up.
Right.
If they try and continue to go like some shows like The Walking Dead, like way past your expiration date.
True Blood.
We'll know. You'll know.
Game of Thrones, almost. Almost. That last one, they rushed through it. They just kind of rushed through it. And I get it. But that's because he'd stopped writing
That's
books.
because they had no material.
Right. But, but True Blood, same kind of
I'll
thing.
tell you a
I
show
would
that,
stopped after the pilot on that one. But
I'll tell you a show that didn't go too far and was cut short, which was Deadwood. I watched a teaser trailer that just came out. And
Yes, sir.
It comes out May 31st of this year. I'm super excited. It's my favorite, probably until Game of Thrones, definitely my favorite TV show I've ever seen.
Yeah.
If you've never watched it, it is like a Western play. The writing and the dialogue in it is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
The acting is amazing. Everything about it is brilliant.
How many seasons? They did 3 in Cody,
3.
right?
Yeah.
3, yeah.
And they didn't end it. They just stopped
It
doing
got
it. They
canceled, yeah.
Somehow.
Well, Westerns are super expensive. Like, it's not like, even Stranger Things, they can just buy old clothes. Like, you have to make all those clothes in Westerns. So, you have to make the sets. You have to make, they're
But the original
inherently-
writer, David Milch,
Yep.
is not directing, but he's written this, and I think it's...
Did he do NYPD Blue? Isn't that David Milch?
Yes. Sure.
Yeah. I think so.
And I read a little bit of news. You guys were talking about The Irishman.
Yes.
That will be at some point coming out. That gave me pause. Maybe not you guys. Gave me pause. That they're going to, or they have digitally de-aged.
Right.
De Niro, Pacino.
Yeah, well, that's what part of the $140 million went to.
My thing is, if it looks like
Sounds
Looper,
exhausting,
I'm not going to be able to fucking watch it.
Right.
If it doesn't, then maybe this will be a new thing.
Right.
That we're going to start seeing old actors in.
Right, but it's a new Scorsese movie with De Niro,
Oh, you know
Pacino,
I'll watch it.
Pesci, and Harvey Keitel. It could just be like them sitting in a room,
Just hanging out.
shitting, and I would still watch it.
It could be them doing a podcast about old movies.
Yeah, exactly.
Sitting around
I would just be
talking,
like,
and
I'd watch it at least twice.
Yeah. So, I'm sure it look.
Right. I've seen New York twice.
Yeah.
And that's not my favorite Scorsese movie.
Not even.
Nor is it anyone's really. Yeah.
Yeah,
But anyway, yeah.
we shall see though.
We shall. Did you guys see the new Jordan Peele movie, Us, made $70 million? And that is the highest grossing original movie since Avatar. All these last 10 years, it's all been intellectual properties.
Right.
There hadn't been a movie that they made $70 million, which is good. It's not like, huge. But yeah, 10 years has not been anything that wasn't based on something else that made that much money in 10 years. That just shows you how much everything's based on a comic book. I love comic books and video games. I love all that stuff.
Yeah.
But damn, give us some movies for adults,
Yeah.
I mean,
something original.
yeah, at least, Jordan Peele, he's making movies based on his own ideas, and they're going to the roof, so God bless him.
Yeah.
He didn't remake The Omen, which a lot of people probably would have taken some giant payday,
Yep.
So good for him.
Yep. I mean,
Speaking of Peele, I saw two trailers for the new
Twilight Zone.
Twilight Zone. I saw
Yeah.
one for the first episode and second.
Yeah.
looks pretty good.
It's good, man.
Yeah.
But you have to have the CBS.
Yeah, it's like
Like,
on
you have
their
to
all
have an,
access
Yeah,
thing.
isn't it weird how streaming was supposed to free us from cable, and now it's just turned into cable?
Yeah.
Yeah, it has.
It's like,
Apple,
Yeah.
Apple premiered their streaming service, and they've got a Dr. Dre movie, a show, and a Jennifer Aniston show.
Spielberg's going to do something
Apple
for it?
Plus, and I'm like, well, I have the Apple TV, but no.
No.
I ain't
No,
gonna have
no,
the
you
Apple
don't.
TV
Yeah.
Plus. That's the extra $30.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there going, well, let me just start adding this up. I did my taxes, and my subscriptions alone were like $3,000. Now give and take. That's subscription for my editing
Right.
software.
Okay.
It's everything. But
Yeah.
I am a year spending $3,500.
You could have bought a used car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On just subscriptions. Now that's Shudder, Prime, Netflix.
Yeah.
And Netflix, they just keep inching that price up.
Yeah.
$1 here and $1 there. But I remember my first subscription, my dad gave it to me as a Christmas present. Here you go. Free month.
Yeah.
It's the greatest thing ever. You can get DVDs and blah, 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 blah. It's awesome. $15. Or it's $11, $12, or something like that. It's $27 now. $27.
Yeah, geez
Then
Louise.
Shudder. That's another $5.
Well, yeah, but at least for that $5, it's all horror movies.
They've
It's
got
not
a catalog.
Yeah, they've got. It's not like
massive.
Netflix. I mean, Netflix has a lot of stuff, but you have to hunt. Like you can just be like. Shudder's more streamlined. Plus, it's only $5.
And I haven't seen anything on that YouTube Red. Is that working out? I know that Cobra Kai show with the Karate Kids was the kickoff, but I haven't heard much.
I don't know anybody that has it.
I don't either.
Yeah.
Or maybe they've run out of money to subscribe to stuff. So there you go.
Exactly.
There you go.
Yeah.
I don't have any events besides we're going to be doing a one-off at the spot. It's going to be pretty cool. We're going to just show up. And we're going to pick a movie off their rack. Doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah.
We're going to find the most obscure, dumb movie, good movie, whatever movie it is. We're going to pick it. We're going to watch it right there at the spot.
There we go. And you've cleared this with the owners and operators of the spot?
No. But
Okay.
that's okay. We'll just show up and do it.
Right.
That's fine.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
That's fine. I will say the Golden Ticket Cinemas are selling out their $5 Tuesdays. So now they're doing $5 Wednesdays too. So now every Tuesday and Wednesday, want to see a movie, you get everything's $5. So
That's awesome.
it's a good deal.
Yeah.
And apparently they're selling it out so much that they're like, well, let's just do a second day.
Good for them.
Yeah.
Besides that, I have no other events besides You Must Watch Mother. Just don't do it. Just don't do it at 7:30 in the morning because you have a long day ahead of you.
Don't do it at 7:30 at night or at any time, ever, because it's garbage.
Fantastic.
There you go.
All right.
So, what, so we're done with gangster, 90s gangster movies. What is our next,
You guys were talking about some sort of Italian murder porn.
First of all, Four Eyes.
You were the one who brought it up.
I simply sent a picture of a
No. You said, why don't we do movies like this?
We should be doing movies like this.
And I said, oh, those are
Jello movies. I've got a bunch of them if you want to do some. Plus,
That's
there's a
what's
bunch
scary.
on Prime.
we can do that. And then
We're doing it now.
so that is going to be our next
Yes.
block.
Our first movie will be Torso from 1973. And after that, we're going to do some other movies that are morally questionable.
If you're unfamiliar with this genre, I guess
Yeah.
it's like
It's like a precursor to the slasher. They were, Italian, it's like
It's like an Italian horror movie.
it's an Italian horror movie where everybody's dressed amazing, and women get horribly murdered by somebody, generally in like a black leather trench coat with black leather gloves, sometimes with a mask, sometimes without.
using razors,
Using
knives.
razors, yeah. It's very, very Italian.
Very intimate.
Yeah. We'll get into it in not this next episode.
episode after next with Torso.
So if you're into, pronounce it again,
Jello.
like Jello.
No, it's the Italian.
Jello.
It's the Italian word for yellow,
Right.
which I'll get into that.
Later, why that is.
So if you're familiar with Jello films, then look forward
Italian porn
to our
films.
block on this. Yeah.
They're not pornography. They're just.
Hey, I'm all for it, man.
Well,
We
listen, in the 70s, the Italian country was broke. There was there was terrorism everywhere. There was actually a communist terrorist group called the Red Army, or the Red Faction, or something like that. It was just bombs going off everywhere. So this led to a very sort of depressed state. And people who should be paying attention to what was going on in movies were not. And a bunch of morally flexible movie producers took advantage of that.
Yeah.
And we're going to celebrate it for the next month.
sounds
Yeah.
sounds good to me.
Yeah.
I'm all right. Well, we were talking about this. It's like that trailer, you put Smoke of Serpent. What was it?
Thunder of the Gigantic
Serpent. Yes. These are the movies we're supposed to be watching anyway. Like Stephen Grayson, Deep Cover was almost a little bit too mainstream for '90s.
Right.
It's mainstream.
Well, I think we should be doing a different. Like, I don't think we should just do those type of movies. I don't think we just do any type of movie.
Yeah, I like bouncing around.
Right.
And this is going to make a...
Yes, if you want some unrepentant, we're about to get into it.
We're getting into it for real.
Yeah.
We're getting into the deep end.
Yeah. And we got the three, and Doug picked out these three movies. I gave him a list, and he picked out three. And there are, like, we got one in the 70s, one in the early 80s, one in the mid 80s. It does we're sort of covering the time when giallo was very big in Italy.
Right.
It started in like 1970. They kind of kicked off, and then about the mid 80s, the European film industry kind of ceased to exist the way it used to. So yeah, it'll be good. It'll be good.
Wars and razors.
Yep. There's a lot of women being slashed up in sometimes very
rough ways.
Rough ways, yes.
Oh,
inappropriate ways.
It's salacious.
Yeah.
I mean, it's...
Yeah.
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 So that's going to be interesting.
Welcome to Lee's Pick-a-Flick Video Store, where all his recommendations will cost you money or you won't be able to find the video, period.
Talking about the whole, like when Pulp Fiction came out in 94, like I said, there were all these movies, which probably had been written beforehand,
right?
But just no one would ever make them. And so immediately you had movies like 2 Days in the Valley, you had all this. Yeah. And the movie I'm talking about, it's a movie, it's probably the first time I'm recommending a movie that we've all seen.
Okay.
Things to Do in Denver When You're Dead. Right?
I knew you were going to say that.
You know I was going to say it, didn't I?
That is so strange.
That was going to be on our list to watch.
It still can be.
Yeah.
Like if we do 90s Gangster Movies Part 2, we can do it then.
But anyway. Great film.
And it's kind of, we talked about, what was the movie we talked about a few months ago? Being cheesy in a good way. I can't remember. But this movie I would describe it as that way. It's very unrealistic. Like Andy Garcia goes to a bar at 5 o'clock in the afternoon and Buddy Guy is playing guitar. Like it takes place in Fantasyland.
Yeah.
But it's the person, Andy Garcia plays a former gangster named Jimmy the Saint who basically owes a lot of money to a gangster, and that gangster works for the guy he used to work for. The guy name is the Man with the Plan, played by Christopher Walken, who is paralyzed from the neck down. And the thing he wants Jimmy the Saint to do goes terribly wrong, and basically he has 48 hours to try to get him and his friends out of Denver. And it's just, Treat Williams knew what movie he was in. Everybody else might have thought they were in like a real serious movie, but Treat Williams is Critical Bill. He knew exactly what movie he was in. When Steve Buscemi breaks in and tries to kill him, and all those security lights come on, he pops up with camouflage paint on his face and screams, "I am Godzilla and you are Japan," and shoots him in the chest. I laugh every time. I've seen the movie multiple times, but every time that happens, I can't not laugh. Because Treat Williams is awesome in the movie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he sells the movie.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
That was one that I almost watched instead of Boondock, but I thought, well, I want to do something more Italian or more Irish, and that's why I leaned that direction. But it's been in my mind for the last couple of weeks.
Like I said, it's cheesy and it's funny and it has a lot of heart though. Yeah. Like the first time I watched it was with my buddy Brian. He was stoned out of his mind, and the scene where Christopher Lloyd tells the story about his neighbor who got cancer and died.
Yeah.
He's like, he never did anything with his life. He lived in this crappy little apartment his whole life and never had a wife, never had kids, and died. And he said, I did the things that guy wanted to do. I've been in a Paris nightclub with a $2,000 night hooker. And I look at my buddy Brian, who had just smoked a huge amount of weed before we watched this movie, and he's just bawling. He's just like, I said, dude, are you crying? He's like, shut up, leave me alone. Like, it just got it. Like, Christopher Lloyd's so good in this movie.
Yeah, everybody is.
Everybody is. Like, the movie should not have a cast this good to be
for what it is.
A movie where the villain is called the Man with the Plan.
Yeah.
But like William Forsythe, Christopher Walken, Bill Nunn, Treat Williams, just everybody.
Boat drinks.
Boat drinks. Oh, yeah.
We're going to have boat drinks.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And just, if you've never seen it, like there's a DVD. I wish there was a nice Blu-ray of it. There's a DVD, Miramax DVD. And it kind of is like, it came out in 95. So as soon as Pulp Fiction was #1 at the box office, Harvey was like, let me take this, make that, and it came out the next year. So I can't imagine that's not what happened. because it's not. They don't talk like they're in a Tarantino movie, but you could see that's what they were going for. But it's a lot more lighthearted than a Tarantino.
For sure.
Yeah. Anyway, things to do in Denver when you're dead. That's my pick of the week.
It's a good film.
Yeah, and it does not have. Do not read the reviews. It got terrible reviews.
Yeah.
Like it has like a 33 or something.
Does it really?
Yeah, like not good at all. Or maybe 43. It doesn't have a very good score on Rotten Tomatoes, but it's like who cares?
Yeah.
But yeah, if you like if you like gangster movies, you'll like it.
Yeah.
Well, my showdown this week is perfect, in perfect fashion. It's Aronofsky's Pretentious Showdown. Which film is better, The Fountain or Mother? So anybody that's an Aronofsky fan out there,
I don't know
his
if
two
you're going to
movies-
find 5 people that have watched them both.
You know, well, that may be a challenge,
Yeah.
but I wanted to shake up the showdown a little
go.
bit.
I like
and
it.
start
That's a
doing
good
some
one.
stuff.
I like
That's a good
it.
one.
Anybody that is Aronofsky fans, I mean, if you get 3, I mean, I would be surprised if, The Fountain gets 1.
Right.
If there's 3 votes out
No,
there.
there's
I'll
somebody.
be shocked if either of them get a vote.
There's somebody out
It'd be
there.
great if everybody didn't vote. Instead, they just commented and said, I wouldn't click
Yeah, if
to
you-
vote on this piece of shit for anything in the world.
Right.
But you might have somebody that...
The Fountain is their favorite movie.
Yeah.
There's somebody out there, they watch The Fountain once a month. Can't imagine that they have any friends, but whatever.
And I'm sure there's a mother lover out there.
Oh, yeah.
Not named Garrick
And he
Lane.
probably, that person probably owns an AR-47.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So we need to be careful.
They may be sliding it into their mouth.
We have almost 900 likes on the
We have over
page.
900 likes
Watch
as of this-
out.
yeah.
Over 900 likes on the Facebook page.
And about 250 members.
250 members. So what I'm going to do, I'm gonna put the showdown on the page, but I will share it with the group. We seem
Right.
to get a lot of interaction with the group.
Yeah.
Out of those 250 people and those 900
Oh, yeah.
likes, I bet we get 5 votes out of that.
Yeah.
Aronofsky's most
I don't
pretentious
think,
work.
I don't think I'm going to be able to vote because I don't know if I watched all of The Fountain.
Well, don't vote.
I'm
Just
not going
to
to vote. I
vote.
can't vote because I have an uninformed opinion.
Aronofsky's.
But that doesn't mean that I won't comment.
Right.
Below.
And you have not, nor will you watch much.
No, I can't imagine.
You should put something like, can there not be a third box to just not watch?
You actually can. You can make a third option.
You can't make a third
Yeah.
option now?
Yeah, I think so.
No,
Can
it's
you
just
not?
2. Remember,
Oh.
because I had to do, when I did the 3
Oh,
Indiana
that's
Jones
right.
chicks,
That's
I had
right.
to do my own,
That's right.
I had
Yeah.
to do my own graphic. That was too much work, so we stick it to 2.
Yeah.
Because there isn't.
If you don't watch, comment below. Let's go that way.
Aronofsky hasn't had, I mean, all his films are great. Besides, these 2 are the 2 pretentious ones that are supposed to be mind-boggling.
Well, this one
Requiem
and-
was fantastic.
And what was
The
Noah.
Wrestler, fantastic.
Noah? Thank you. Is the other one.
But that one was a mainstream. I don't count that. I'm talking about Aronofsky doing it, like Black Swan, him doing his
Right.
own movies under Protozoa.
Yeah.
Noah was like Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah, Protozoa Pictures are the ones that he gets private funding for. Those are
Right.
the only ones that count.
Okay.
For me.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
you're right. Noah, but Noah's mainstream.
Just watch The Wrestler.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
It really is. So there you go. Aronofsky's Pretentious Showdown. And that will conclude this show this week.
Yep. And like I say, right before we go, leave us a comment or a review on Apple, Stitcher, wherever you listen to the show. Comment on Facebook. Follow, join the group. Follow the page. However you want to do it.
We are on Google Play now, so all
Okay.
you Android people out there that can't get the podcast, I ran into a buddy I play Magic with, and he was like, "Man, I want to listen to your show, but I can't get it to play. I need it on some kind of Android base."
Right.
So of course I went straight in there. I was like, "What are we doing wrong?" Well, that's what we were doing wrong.
There you go.
Had to be on Google Play too. So we're out there, man. Find us.
Yep.
Until then, keep watching the movies.
There you go.
Thank you to our sponsors, Golden Ticket Cinemas in Lenore. $5 movies every Tuesday, all day long. GTcinemas.com. The Spot Toys in Newton. Find them on Facebook at facebook.com/The Spot Toys.